section. Then you can give your thoughts about the program and everything that we'll be talking about today. So right about now, let me take this opportunity to welcome Sister Aurelia into the program. Good afternoon, Sister.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. Have we met since this new year started?
Yes, yeah.
I wanted to give you a double happy new year.
Okay, there's no fancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to our dear listeners and our viewers. Like you said, we are live on Facebook and then live on YouTube. On YouTube, you find us on Youth Zone with Sister Aurelia. And with us, we have our two guests, very, very important guests. And I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Like he mentioned, our topic is my disability, my strength. Or we can say the strength in my disability. And we have so much to discuss today. So let's hear from them. Begin with Jeremy.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy from Tangazo University, and they're currently Mr. Tangazo University. And last year I was here twice, so it's pleasure to be here again. Thank you, sister, for bringing me again here.
Oh, you are welcome. Thank you so much also for accepting to come with me.
Thank
Who
you.
am I to work with Mr. Tangaza? It's not easy. So let's go to excellent.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Gadiel. Excellent. People call me Excellent. After Gadiel, you might not find me, but my name is Excellent. I am a student at Tangaza University College it's now Tangaza University. We did a chat just last year. Social communication and journalism. It's a pleasure being here to discuss. It's a very hot topic because especially nowadays whereby information inatembea mbio sana, but when you have the right information being disseminated, especially from the right source, then that's a good thing. So it's a pleasure being here, so that we can discuss and talk about this topic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Such a unique name. Excellent.
Yeah, Nakubwa.
Wow. So karibuni Radio Maria on this our youth show, which is Youth Zone, and I'm also Sister Aurelia. I'm glad to have you here as my guests
Thank
today.
you.
And I'm wondering, why are we saying my disability, my strength? Many of us, if you look at us, you might be wondering why is it so. So can you tell us the type of disability that you have so that our viewers or even our listeners who are not seeing you will know what is happening?
So we start with me.
Yes, please.
We're visually impaired.
Okay.
Then totally blind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, in my case, I'm also visually impaired. One of my eyes is totally blind, the left one, and then the right one is, we call it severely low vision. And it's nilipa token, lakini halijalipa token yake.
Okay. So we have the visually impaired guests. I'm
Yes.
glad to host you. And how has your disability shaped your outlook on life? I begin with excellent.
You see, okay, for me, I wasn't born with the disability. It's something I acquired along the way. So for someone who acquired any disability along the way, okay, things might be quite different from someone who was born like that. For one, it takes, let me just say, the grace of God for you to come into terms with that new reality. For some it might take long, for some it might take quite a short time, depending on the support you get, especially from your family, because there's what they call stigmatization. So in my case, I can say my immediate family was quite supportive, but there are also people that were kind of giving me some stigma. And so along the way, I had to find a way of, I can say, defending or fighting. It just develops naturally. So what I can say is that at first it was so difficult for me, and I had this let me call it a weird mentality or mindset about persons with disabilities. For one, I had never seen by then anybody blind going to school. I only used to see them on the streets. So it was like, okay, so how is my life going to be like? Because I wanted to be a pilot, now I can't fly a plane anymore because I don't have sight. But later on, I realized that I could still go to school, pursue other careers, and become someone very important in society. And so that changed my mindset absolutely. And now it gave me a new focus in life. I had to take and to pick up a different career. Of course, it was shaped, or okay, it was, I can say, motivated by a number of factors. And now moving forward from that time, I had this different mindset about disability, and I also viewed myself very differently. I stopped looking at my inabilities and began focusing on what they call abilities. There's someone who said that disability is not an ability. So most of us take a lot of time focusing on our inabilities, but we have a lot of abilities. So I can say that disability, in a way, gave me a different, I can say, perception about disability. And the moment I picked it up and began to run with it, I've done so many things in life that probably I could never have done if I didn't change my outlook on life, or my perception about life and disability in general.
Wow, that's great. And I'm glad, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about all that you have achieved or all that you have been able to do in your disability
Exactly.
or your different ability. So
Mhm.
let's go to Jeremiah. Kindly tell us how your disability has shaped your outlook on life.
Same to my case, I was not born blind. It's something that came on my way as I was growing. In 2013, that's the time that my sight disappeared completely. I think so, 2007, it started to decrease, and later it went completely. So, mimi toke sidalipa, as excellent as said. But in our family, no one accepted the situation. They will say that it's somehow a curse and a shame and an embarrassment to our family, because I'm the only person who is visually impaired in our family. So somehow they see like it's a burden. So they decided to disown me, and but there's that person, the inner person in you, who gives you strength, and God also gives you strength. And for me to come up to Tangaza, it's a miracle, because it has taken a lot of energy and accepting myself. So, accepting myself and accepting the situation that I'm in now is very important. And I can tell you, there's no person who has faith in life than a person who is visually impaired, because you are just walking but you don't know what are you stepping.
Where are you stepping?
Why is
You walk by
stepping?
faith.
Yeah, or what are you stepping in the next few minutes? Maybe you can
Mm.
step another thing that another person who is who can have the both side, have the side. Sorry, uh, you can step anything, but you're just moving by faith. So we are people who has a lot of faith than anybody else.
That's true. And what is some of the unique strengths or perspectives do you feel your disability has given you?
The unique thing,
Mm.
kitambo, when I had my sight, I could see everything
Mhm.
by just a look. But for now, even when I hold now your hand, I will know next time that when you come and greet me, you know, this Aurelia, because before you speak,
Mhm.
I'll just know this Aurelia,
Really?
this excellent. After just shaking my hand, or even I can hear the footsteps and I know this another person. So those are the unique things that
Wow, interesting.
I have acquired them. Even my classmates
Mm.
do. They are amazed. Sometimes they just come and just is they kidding? They just come and shake me on my shoulder. I'll tell, hey, someone stop.
Way. Anyway, it is really unique and excellent.
Okay, let me say, you see, disability is defined as any physical, visual, mental, or sensory inability that affects someone's day-to-day living. Okay, so someone like you, Aurelia, who has got both, okay, all the common, we call them the common senses, right? You can see, you can smell, you can hear,
And touch.
you can talk, you can touch. All of them are functional, right?
Yes, yeah.
Now, for someone who's visually impaired, for example, has got all but one.
Mm.
We can't see, right? So for you, you depend on your sight. So that means you are, let me say, the amount of concentration on the other is kind of spread out throughout the common senses, right?
Mhm.
But for me, I have to have, okay, people call it a sixth sense, some call it intuition, some call it instinct. Like for example, someone who is totally blind can know whether or not there is danger around. For example, let's say when a lion comes in right here,
Mhm.
comes in here where we are right now, for you you will see, okay.
Yeah.
But for us we will know, like there's just something in you, will tell there's something dangerous here, you understand. So that ability, what people call it the sixth sense is also a strength in a way. You could be walking in on a road, let me say along the road, maybe there's a ditch by the road, or maybe someone has parked a vehicle badly, or just anything, you will know before you even step on it. Like Jeremiah said, we walk by faith, but there's that kind of thing. You will just know there's something, like there's something. You understand?
Yes.
So that in itself is a strength. Something else. For you, if you're given a paper, for example, with a picture on it, you will be able to analyze the paper because you have the eyes. You can know this is maybe let's say a car drawn here, there's a plane here. But now, for someone who's blind, we have to use what we call our imaginative power.
Okay.
You see, if I'm given something like let me say something like what can I use? Okay, let me say something like the new note. Yeah,
Mhm.
let me say the 200 shillings note.
Mhm.
Oh, Tangalia, when there's a lion there, there's whatever, everything is there. But for someone who's been trying to imagine, okay, what could be here? And they are very curious. Most of them are very curious. If someone who's visually impaired enters your house or your car,
Mhm.
you'll find him, okay, he'll ask you so many questions. What is this? What is anything he touches? Because he's imagining, what is this?
Yes.
So that kind of exercises your imaginative power so much, to the extent that you now come to very meditative. And let me tell you something. Even the Bible says that hey, Isaac was meditating when he saw his wife coming with the servant. So there's something about meditation. For someone who's sighted and has every other common sense, or let me call it, okay, someone who's not disabled in any way, for such people, they kind of take things lightly because you don't pay so much attention on meditation or improving your imaginative ability or your creative ability. You understand? But now for someone who is visually impaired, we have no choice but to put to use our imaginative power. So when you do it day in, day out, every time, every now and then, it develops so much, it grows, it becomes so strong, and you find these people having ideas, great ideas, because they're always imagining things. When a plane, passes overhead, and I just imagine, okay, imagine the plane like how could be the engines be looking like you're imagining. So as you imagine that, you are exercising your imaginative ability. So
Yes.
definitely it will grow because we say exercise. How do you call it? Exercise does what? Something to do with perfection. You understand? The more you exercise it, the more perfect it becomes. So in that places us at a position of advantage in some instances in life. For example, in school, where by now imagination is required, imaginative power is required to be applied. We of course shine than other people. So for me, I can say my imaginative power has so much grown, and the sixth sense, what we call the intuition, also has so much
Common
grown.
sense.
Yeah, so that is a unique strength that I have. Plus, I need to connect it to like resilience. You understand? Like
Yes.
because when I'm walking, let me say when I'm traveling, for someone like you, kupeke yako utapanda gari, you alight in town and go wherever you want to go. But now for me, it'll be because sometimes people kind of okay, they don't pay so much attention, so they can't easily recognize that you're visually impaired, and now they want to treat you like any other people. Some of them could even talk to you in a very irritating manner.
Rude.
Yeah, so they're rude. So lazima develop ile thick skin, you understand? Lazima ujue kujitetea, lazima ujue kujiongea, lazima ujue ku defend yourself. So that also is a kind of okay, I can say there are strengths, not even a strength. There are so many strengths that someone acquire: communication skills, defensive skills, and all those. So there are so many things that are unique to only to people that are visually impaired.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
This is interesting.
Exactly.
So actually, yeah.
Even in terms of technology,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find that for you now, using there's something called TalkBack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a software in the phone. It's
Mhm.
an app, and then at the laptop, it's called an NVDA.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if now I give you my phone,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you just listen at it. But there are some words which you will not get it right. But for me,
You
those
will
words
get all
I will
of them.
get them right. The
Mm.
same way applies to, for example, Exana said if you are given 200 shilling.
Mm.
So there is this app called Cash Reader. So for you, you can't use the Cash Reader, but I myself, I'll take the phone and get into my Cash Reader, and I take a picture of it, and it echoes this 200 shilling, this 1,000, this 500 shilling.
Wow.
Uh,
Oh, interesting. Actually, there is. I normally admire people who are visually impaired. You know, their ability and the way you do things. There is a village I visited. There was this blind guy, and he liked drinking alcohol.
Sherehe, party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Party.
So
And
one
is that
day
bad?
I was walking at night with my friend who is in that village, and we met this guy carrying a lamp. Walking seriously. So I was curious when my friend told me this man is blind. He said, then why is he carrying a lamp? He doesn't need it. Like he's always in the dark. So I was curious. I asked him. I said, sir, why is it that you are carrying a lamp and like you cannot see? And he told me, I'm carrying it for you people who see. Because if I'm not carrying it, you people will step on me. So if I'm carrying it, you'll be able to know that I'm
I
carrying.
think so. The same way happens
Yes.
when the normal person or me, I
Mhm.
take alcohol,
Mhm.
I'll be speaking a lot of English.
Mhm.
So on my perspective, I was just saying,
Mhm.
when he drinks alcohol, his mind tells him, carry a lamp.
Okay. Or maybe that. Okay. I understand that having such a disability, you might be having some challenges, of which, you might be having a challenge that you feel like if I were seeing or if I had my vision, I would have done this or I wouldn't have done this. So I just want to go back to excellent. Can you share with us a specific challenge one you faced due to your disability and how you overcame it?
Yeah, like I said, you see, Aurelia, someone who was born with a disability, for them they adapt so fast because it's something they grow up with, right?
Yes.
So they grow up already in that particular circle or in that particular space. Now, but for someone who acquired the disability along the way in life, you have to now adjust. You understand? Because initially I could do all things by myself. I could, travel by myself. Because it happened when I was already a big boy. I was 12 years. Although one of my eyes got blind when I was still very young. Now, I could do a lot of things by myself. Now, immediately I lost my sight. I realized that I needed a guide. I needed someone to walk me around. If I want to go to maybe let's say to the market or to town, anywhere, I need to go. If I need to find something, maybe I've just accidentally dropped something in the house, I need to find it. I need an extra eye, you understand? So that's when I was, okay, at the moment, that's at the time I had lost my eyesight. So I needed to adjust. For me, it was something so heavy and intense on me. It was like a burden because you need everyone, okay, you need someone almost in everything, every time. You can't do anything by yourself. Until I went to St. Francis School for the Blind, that's the primary school in Muspovat, County Kapengoria. Now, when I was taught independence, and then I learned Braille, I was taught mobility, how to walk around using a white cane, and such things. So that kind of reduced my over-reliance on people. I became kind of independent rather than being dependent, you understand? So the challenge I had at the time when I lost my sight, the biggest challenge I had was that thing called independence. Because if I need to use my phone, someone has to come and read the messages for me. If I reply to the text or to the messages, someone has to type for me, you understand? But now when I went to that special school and okay, we call it rehabilitation. You are rehabilitated, and then you're given mobility skills. So that also, I think, helped me so much to become independent. So that's how I overcame that challenge. But let me tell you something, it's a reality. Let me tell you, it's a reality. For someone like you who is sighted, okay, I work at Kenya Society for the Blind currently. I stay in Karen, of course, coming to Kenya Society for the Blind every day and going back every evening. Every morning, going back every evening, to and fro, commuting, you understand? So, for someone who's sighted like you will only need to walk to the stage, take a bus, after you are light, go to your work, right? But now for me, I'll depend on a motorbike. I need to take a motorbike from the house to the stage and then pay that fare that you only, it is the only thing you paid for someone who's sighted, you understand? And then when I alight, again I have to take another motorbike to take me to my workplace. So I kind of use double, I'll say the double amount of money someone who's sighted will use. So sometimes it can even triple depending on, you see here in Nairobi, especially in Nairobi, the motorbike guys, I can say, they kind of, not even the motorbike guys, even someone who's, you think someone has volunteered to help you cross the road, but after they do that, they ask some money from you. So for me, it has been a challenge for a very long time because I kind of travel a lot. So it's that thing that I feel it's a real challenge to me. But now, now trying to overcome it, I can't say that I've absolutely or 100% overcome it yet because there are things I need to do to overcome it, of course. But I can say the way I have overcome it, I need now to learn the route, you understand? Because it is something it is a route I'm using every day. So I need to now learn to master the road from my house to the stage so that I don't need to take a motorbike. I just need to walk to the stage. Then when I alight at the stage near to, where I'm supposed to alight so that I can go to work, I again master that place, that road that leads from the stage to where I work. So that when I alight, I don't need a motorbike, I just walk. So that's one of the ways I'm trying to overcome these challenges by mastering the environment. You understand? Yeah, so when I, for example, I'm going to a place for 2 days consecutive, I will make sure the first 2-3 days I will master that place. If I find someone who is willing to walk me through or talk me around, I will go with them so they can do or give me what you call orientation, and then I'll master the environment. So that next time I won't need to use a lot of money or double amount of money using motorbikes and all those things. So that's one way I have really overcome such a challenge. But it's still a problem and a challenge to many visually impaired people. But for independence and other things, that is so easy because once you are given rehabilitation, Kenya Society for the Blind does that, Kenya Institute for the Blind does that, Machakos Technical Institute for the Blind does that. So when you acquire blindness in life, you just go there, they teach you mobility, rehabilitation, and then you become independent. So dependency, I overcame it by becoming independent after being given the skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one question,
All right.
brief, and you said sometimes if someone is willing to walk you through, you go with the person. And I understand our society currently is not really safe. Some people might take advantage of you or want to exploit you because of your condition. Have you had such experiences?
Personally, for me, I've never had such experiences because the sixth sense I told you, you can know a bad person or someone with bad intentions. You can really know. But there are people that maybe just acquired the blindness recently. Okay, they haven't developed that sense yet so well. I have had friends who have found themselves in trouble because someone was like helping them only to rob them later, or even to hurt them. Like a case in Machakos, when I went to do computer packages at Machakos Technical Institute for the Blind some time back. There's a guy whose eyes were plucked off by some, I think some gangs. That's how he lost his sight. And so he also is a person who drinks, you see. So when he came to the institute, because he was new, he doesn't know where the alcohol or is sold. So and you see, like unafanya kujificha because bado kana kawoga. So he asked someone to take him to the place, and at the end of the day, his phone was taken from him and the money he had, and so he was left stranded on the road. So they do happen sometimes, but once you develop that sense that I've just told you, you will know someone when someone has bad intentions, and you also know the environments you can help for. You can ask for assistance. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. You know, when you love uji so much, you drink it morning, afternoon, and it's not always good, and especially for someone with a disability.
Exactly.
Okay, I go to Jeremy, and I would like us to share briefly because we
Yeah.
have so much to discuss today.
It's okay.
And Jeremy, can you tell us any specific one challenge that you have undergone and how you overcame it?
For me, I'll begin when I lost my sight.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a very nice footballer,
Okay.
but when I lost my sight, now I was just going to the field, and I can hear people cheering, 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 and cheering.
Oh,
So,
no.
I myself, I was also cheering,
Yes.
but I don't know what I'm cheering of. So
I can
I was-
imagine.
I was just imagining there I was playing, that person is still playing like me, so
Mm.
I'm cheering. So I will say he has scored. Kumbe, he has not scored. He has gone
Yeah, we're about
outside.
to score.
He has gone
Big
outside
Or-
and the
yeah.
opponents are
Yeah.
cheering.
Cheering. So I'll cheer with them.
Oh.
So it's a very embarrassing thing that it made me, when I go home, I'll just go and cry. And later, my mom will just come and beat me and tell me, you stop going to the field. You
Mm.
see? But I had that zeal that I want to be a footballer. But currently I'm doing counseling psychology
Mm.
in Tangaza.
Mhm.
Most of the things that I was traumatized of,
Mm.
I came to learn it in class, and everything that I was imagining that it is a burden, it's a barrier, it's a barrier to me.
Mm.
For now, I've just removed it by just getting in class, and I was having that experience. So I'll just help another person who has lost his or her sight
Mm.
and have the same problem.
Mm.
And when I came to Tangazo University,
Mm.
I never knew anybody else. I just knew myself.
Okay.
So when I went to the plot,
Mm.
the first time I thought that if I go now to the next door, so I'll be disturbing the next person.
Mhm.
So let me just stay. So I stayed for 2 days without eating, not going to class, because I don't have any person who will take me out of the plot, and any person who will cook for me.
Mm.
Or no, even not good to cook for me, because at that time when I joined, I thought that I'll go to the hostel. So I came like Form 1 student,
Well.
just with the bucket,
You thought you
blanket.
thought you'd be eating at the doorstep. Huh?
Yeah. So I stayed for 2 consecutive days. The second day, that's the time that the caretaker realized that this guy have not moved out. So he came and the first thing I asked him, do you have anything to eat?
Oh no. Yeah.
So he went to the landlord place, and he brought food, and I ate. So because I never knew that the next time that I'll get that food, so I'll eat in portions,
Mm.
slowly, until the next day. So that the next day when he came and took the plate, I decided to eat faster. I finished.
Well. Mhm.
It was cold. So when I had for example, if I was saying if I had my sight, what would have happened? I'll just take myself to the hotel.
A
I'll just
restaurant
the
or buy
restaurant
something and cook for
and
yourself.
cook for myself. But later I came and learned that I'm the only person now who understand myself better.
Mm.
So one time I got another lady who was very friendly to me. She came there, so she was taking me to the shop, to the hotel. So I just go there, and I'm mastering the road. Any stone that I step, it is
Recorded in your mind.
I recorded in my mind that this is the landmark.
Mm.
So I'll just move, but nowadays I'm moving like a person who has sight. I'll just move straight and take a corner.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, so for now, I've just adapt that I have to defend myself.
You have to be there for
Exactly.
yourself. Okay.
And then the time also I joined Tangaza, there is this contest, the Mr. Tangaza, Mr. Culture. I went to contest,
Mm.
and then I told myself, how will I contest? The first time I went and saw the runway is very slim. you can fall down. So I said, even if I have a guide, this person is not used to me. So what trick will I use for me to win this thing? So the first time I went there, I mastered the whole stage. I mastered the runway, and I said, where the next to the audience, so the judges, it's a bit soft. The rest of the place is rough. So I'll just go there. I'll count the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stop a bit, then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to the end. Then I come back, counting the steps. So and then after counting the steps, I'll make sure I'm at the center, the 6th step, and then I'll move straight, just modeling. And then when I reach there at the soft place, I'll stop. Then I showcase everything that my styles there. After that, then I go back.
Okay.
So, but I had the guide, and then I got there. I was the first runner-up. That is last year, but one. Yeah, last year, but one. And then last year, I contested. Now having the experience. So after having the experience and knowing everything that is needed, that's the time that I brushed everything and I won them. And everyone who was there had the vision. But I was the only one person who is visually impaired. So the resilience and even having courage. When you get the courage and accepting, self-confidence and accepting yourself, that it makes you to move forward.
Good. That is really, really important. And one might wonder, why did we choose this topic for this program? There are so many young people out there who have given up. There are so many young people there who have their sight, they have everything. They have their legs, they have their hands, and they have chosen to be on the street begging. And we see our friends here, Jeremy and Excellent, who are visually impaired, and they are doing so well, doing so many things. And I guess as we will hear from them, reaching out to others, and yet for us we have chosen to give up and do things that are not really pleasant in the society. We need to learn from them and learn how we can, be useful to the society. Do we have any questions or?
Alright, we're going to take a short break, then we'll be back to the
Alright.
questions.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, let's go for a break. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Oh, nobody can hear you.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Nobody can hear you. Actually, there is a time I used to wander at the corridors of Tangaza. I'm like, how do you get to know this is the office? How do you get to know this is 2G7, 2G9? Like, and you move confidently, you enter the class, I see you, looking at the chairs, that here there are 6 even though with your white cane, but it's something that baffles me. And I'm like, even us that are still sometimes we step on others. And you cannot.
Yeah.
And there is this guy, I think your class, he's our classmate, I don't know what is his name. Elvin. For him, he's so crazy, as I may say, that to some extent you want to give him help. He will ask you, did I ask you? Yeah, he wants to be on his own. You're like, okay, let me help you. He said, no, go. I'm like, wow, this is another ability on its own. So I really
But that one,
admire your strength.
that one is a bit tough because sometimes you can deny the help of that person, and that person will meet you in
Somewhere
a tricky
else
place
where
that you are
you
stranded,
need.
but he thinks that, or she thinks that, you are just talking like the way you told her. You see?
That is
So
true.
that is very bad. For me, if you tell me, can I assist you? I will say, yes, please assist me. Even if I know the place, then I'll just tell you, go to the right, go to the left. I'm on my way now. So can you?
Okay.
Yeah.
You kind of guide the person. Okay.
The break is over.
Yeah, it should be over by now. Hello. Do we have football today? Do we have football today? Okay, so we are closing at 3, right? We close at 3? What time are we closing? 3:30. Okay, so after the divine mercy will come back. So so Jeremy, do you cook for yourself?
Yes, I do.
Even you excellent.
Yeah, I thought I'm a very good chef. You eat my meats.
Really?
Hey,
I need to visit you.
you need to
again.
try the meat.
But ugali for him.
Okay.
For me is meat. But I'm a Masai.
No, but it does for preparation, preparing.
Okay.
I know to,
So
especially
how,
the
like,
stew.
how do you know? Okay, anyway, you have said that with the instincts, you know if
Yeah.
I start like turn on the gas,
Yeah. But sometimes you get burnt a little bit.
get burnt.
Get it free.
I remember my niece one day. She was so small and she liked playing with fire. She wants to touch the fire. They will pull her hand. She wants to touch the fire. They will pull her hand. One day I told them leave her. She went and touched. She ate. She's afraid of fire now. Wherever she sees anything that looks like fire, she runs away. And people looked at me as wicked, but I told her, okay, put back your.
Yes, alright. Mpenzi msikilizaji, Radio Mareke Nairobi. The song that has just played there, the song is called Most High by one artist called Sema from Nigeria. He's a young boy, he's also visually impaired. And the song has got 38 million views on,
Wow.
on YouTube. So my disability,
It's my strength.
yeah, the topic speaks for itself. And as we continue with Sister Aurelia on the other end with our two guests, I'm curious about some few things that I would like to challenge your conversation and get to
Okay.
understand.
No problem.
Yes, in terms of, let's say, advocacy and awareness, what, I'm now talking to them. What is this thing that you think the society as a whole could do to create more inclusive environment for the visually impaired people?
You're not talking to them. You are talking to me.
No, I'm talking to them.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yes.
I'll ask Excellent to answer that.
All right. You understand? Okay, right now in Kenya, there's so many campaigns going on disability inclusion. When you talk about inclusion, inclusion is okay. It can happen at several levels. Family, for example, then institutional, then as it climbs up, right? So the society, number one, there's this mindset that has been there in the sex for very, very many years. Like Jeremiah said, yeah? People view disability as a curse. So that one has to be erased for one. If any inclusion has to be achieved, that one has to be erased. Because once the society is now well educated and they know about inclusivity, they know about disability, they will build structures that are disability friendly. For example, someone could be blind, let's say, and at his own home, or her own home, there are so many things they cannot, or there's so many places they can't access simply because the place is not disability friendly. You understand? But if the society is now taught that disability is not a curse as people used to believe long then, and that people should actually make the environment accessible and friendly to people with, let me say, visual impairment, especially, and also those wheelchair users. When we build structures like houses, roads, and these offices, shops, and everything. We'll try as much as possible to make the place very inclusive. And then when we are talking about, okay, I'll give an example. Last year I was let me say favored to visit Argentina. And I was like, hey, I wish Kenya could, was like Argentina, because the cities are so nice. People that are using wheelchairs can just move by themselves. People that use white canes, there are enough pavements, wide and spacious, you understand? But here in Nairobi, if I'm walking in town, I need someone to help me, to hold my hands and to tell me there's a stair there, there's a hole there, and so many obstacles, you understand? So we need to begin from there first, making the structure and the environment at large accessible and friendly to people with visual impairment, and especially also to those that are using wheelchairs. Secondly, let's come to, when you talk about the society, you're talking about so many things. There's also the leadership part of it, you understand? So people also need to give people with disabilities an opportunity to to bring meaningful changes and impact into society by giving them these leadership positions. I know people that have been rejected or rather denied leadership positions just because they are disabled, not because they don't have the competence or the ability to lead, simply because of their disability that have been rejected or denied those those leadership positions. And yet these people can do a lot of things. Yet, okay, I also know people that are disabled and that have been given leadership positions, like our MP in Westlands, and he's doing a lot of amazing stuff, you understand? So the society has to be inclusive in every way, structure, in terms of structure, the environment, in terms of leadership, in terms of just everything. Even these conversations, let me say, last year, but one, no, I think it was last year, I was in Nakuru, and I had this terrible headache, so I decided to visit the hospital to get some advice from the doctor. And the moment, because I didn't have someone to take me there, and I'm learning to be independent also, I went there by myself. So when I stepped into the hospital, one lady, I think she was a doctor or something, shouted, "Nakuliona mtu wa kwao? Mbona anakuja peke yake?" You understand? So it's like, okay, they think that I can't do things by myself, because that mindset now, there's a place for disabled persons and then there's a place for the larger society. No, there's only a place, or there should be a place for all of us. You understand? And then I've gone to also some other places with a guide, and the person talks to my guide instead of addressing me. You understand?
Okay.
Like, okay, muulize anataka kwenda wapi, yet I can speak for myself.
Anataka soda
You can
gani?
hear.
I can hear.
Anataka soda gani?
Yeah, and I'm here, like, I'm here, talk to me, I'm here. But they're addressing my guide, you understand? It's simply because in their mind, there's a place for the disabled and then there's a place for the society, you understand?
Okay.
So we need to change this narrative, and especially I really focus on the mindset. We have to do a lot of creation awareness to change the mindset of people, to tell them the different categories of disabilities for one, and then to tell them how now to include these people in the society, in the day-to-day activities of the society, talk about leadership, talk about environment, talk about even jobs, everything, learning. People have got, let me tell you, people with disabilities have got amazing talents, but people can't just give them that platform, to nurture those talents or to even display those talents, you understand? And the only reason why they can't give them these opportunities is because of their what? Disability. So don't see a person's disability first. See someone as a human first, you understand? Leave alone that disability part. If they need help or they talk, we know how to talk
They
for
will
ourselves.
ask,
They'll
yes.
ask. But don't look at that disability first. Look at that person as a human first, that dignity alone. When we change that narrative in the society, I think we'll have a very inclusive society. When we are building our houses at home, we'll think of, okay, what if someday I'm paid a visit by someone who's using wheelchair or someone who's using a white cane? So how am I supposed to structure my house or my shop, for example, or supermarket, or the hospital, the government offices, in a manner that a person with a disability, whether physical, that means using wheelchairs, or visual, can access easily. I'll give an example that happened last year and it really left me laughing. When we were having the Gen Z demonstrations, you remember the Gen Z's town parliament at some point, you remember?
Yes.
And imagine the government, the parliament, where the laws and policies and everything, are cooked, processed, and made, is not even accessible to people with visual impairment, sorry, with physical impairment. Because the moment the Gen Zs stormed the parliament, every other MP ran away. But two MPs who were physically challenged, wheelchair users and crutches, one was using crutches and the other was using a wheelchair, were left behind because there was no escape way. There were stairs all over. You understand? No ramp to ride the wheelchair. You understand? So I thank God because the Jains were very okay. I can say merciful and sensitive. Yeah, they actually helped them out before they continued with their demonstrations. You understand? So we need to have that thing from the top, not just from the bottom. From the top, from the parliament, the government, where a lot of policies are made and a lot of information is disseminated to the public, coming down, so that when we are building, it should be a policy. When you build any structure, number one, be inclusive in your design or in your plan. Make it accessible and friendly to persons with disabilities. Coming to leadership, let that all those leadership roles be inclusive. Let's have someone with a disability there. When it comes to things like education, when it comes to things like the sexual reproductive health, everything, every aspect of the society, let's try to make it as inclusive as possible. But that can only happen once, or until and when the mindset of the society outside there is changed towards disability. That's what I can say.
Thank you so much.
And for me, I can add on that, this is what the youth loves most in terms of dating. When it comes in terms of dating, you'll find when for example, when I'm looking for a lady, they say this guy, because he's visually impaired, is going to choose a very ugly lady because he doesn't have sight. But we are the most people who choose the beautiful.
Wait, how do you know?
Just by holding the hand, I know this lady is slim or not slim, is beautiful or not beautiful.
Okay, describe me.
No, I'm not. Your sister.
I'll say something about that also.
Okay.
Let me
see a bit.
Let's finish.
Okay. And then you'll find that they will just there's this thing in Masai land. When a person is visually impaired, they will say, we are going to choose for you because you are blind. You're going to bring a wrong person who is not of your age. You're going to bring a wrong person.
And they don't even know that your senses will even tell you whether she's right for you, whether she's good, whether she's a good person or has bad heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there is this guy who was, their parents wanted to choose for him a lady. And he said, no, I'm going to choose for myself, but they brought the lady home. So they stayed for 5 days, and this guy disappeared from home and left the lady. And then later, he came with a very beautiful lady. So everyone was flabbergasted. How is this guy now?
How was he able to get this one?
Choose? And that one, he said, this is not my type. You people, you're just to choose for you. So my dad, if you want to the second wife, please take this one. Because we don't want this one. This is my beauty. This is my love. I love her. And she's very nice for me. And there's this another guy who went with their wife to the Safaricom shop. And then when they reached there, I'm focusing on awareness, as Excellent was saying about it. They said, oh, hatuna pesa saizi, mimi sina pesa, bado sijauza, bado, yani sina pesa. So
they thought the guy is coming to beg?
Exactly, and I don't have money. You see, they thought that he's coming to beg. But later he said, I want to draw how much? 50,000. And I know this guy who's working there, he can't afford that 50,000.
Who are them? So thank you so much for your enlightenment. And I think it is really, really important for every building, every facility, every institution to put in consideration the people with disability. And I think Tangaza has tried.
Exactly.
Yeah. So bravo to Tangaza University.
Hey, Tangaza should.
Okay.
I would like us again to take a bit longer break because of the Divine Mercy. Then we'll be back after the Divine Mercy. And congrats to Tangaza. You know, all of us here now, Tangaza alone.
This is Tangaza team.
Team Tangaza.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go for a break.
For a break, then we'll come back with so much more.
Okay.
And more questions. Thank you so much, mpenzi msikilizaji wa Radio Maria Kenya Nairobi. Huyo ni Sister Aurelia akiwa ndani ya kipindi cha The Youth Zone, tukiwa
Now I'm
tunazungumza
going to
zaidi
be
kuhusu
asked to
watu
ask
ambao
you
wanaishi na
some
ulemavu na sikio. Leo
questions.
haswa
They
tuko
won't
na
be listened
ndugu zetu
to
wawili ambao
because the
wanaendelea
radio
kutupatia
is turned off. They
ufafanuzi
can't
zaidi
hear
na
us,
jinsi
but
ambavyo
it is going to be recorded on
wanaweza
YouTube
kuishi na sisi
because
ambao
the cameras are still on.
ni sisi sasa tunafaa
Now,
tujifundishe
I want
vizuri
to
jinsi ya kuishi
find
nao, kwa
out
sababu
how does your
sio kupenda kwao
dis-
pia na
how
hawana
does your
makosa
disability
kukua
inspire
hivi
you
jinsi
to
walivyo.
achieve your goals?
Wanasema kwamba wao ni kama sisi tu,
Whoever
so
goes first.
when we are doing things let's be considerate
Jeremiah.
na tuweze
Whoever go
provide a
first.
very very
Alright,
good
so
conducive
can you repeat
environment
the
for
question?
them. Alright,
The question is
tutakuwa
that how
tunaingia
does
kwa
your
ajili-
disability
tunaenda kwa
inspire
sala
you to
ya,
achieve your goals?
rozari ya huruma ya Mungu.
You see, okay, I'll say in Kenya, I don't know about other countries, but in Kenya, there's no place for weaklings, there's no place for lazy people, there's no place for, those people that are, okay, they think they can't do anything, you understand? Like the society outside there is very competitive, So for me, many people view, okay, disability is a barrier, or I can say, yeah, actually it's a barrier to success and achieving ambitions and goals and everything. You understand? But for me, I now decided to see it differently because I don't want to be outside there on the streets begging for money and for help. You understand? Yet God has blessed me with so much abilities and talents. Because what I know and I believe is that every person, every human being has got a purpose for why they are on this earth. The few years God has given us, the 60 years, the 100 years, the 70 years, there's something God wants or purposed you to do before you go to join Him later on, you understand? So me, I decided I will find out what is that thing that God wanted me to do, and then I will do it. Because the moment I do it, as the Bible says, you seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you, you understand? So I refuse to see my disability as as a barrier to achieving so many things in life. And many times when I think about the competitive side outside there, but I think about so many opportunities outside there, and I thank God because of technology. Because right now there are so many things I can do that maybe in the olden days they were kind of impossible because of so many limitations. You understand? So I just simply okay. There are so many NGOs right now in Kenya that are focusing on persons with disabilities, giving them digital skills and many other skills, employability skills. Anytime I hear of such opportunity, I present myself there because I want to be as competitive as anybody else outside there. Let's compete on a fair ground. You understand? But now I can't say that I'm sitting down there waiting for help and then no, it doesn't happen like that. So that alone has inspired me. The fact that there are so many people, well-wishers, people, men and women of goodwill that are ready to support us with skills, employability skills and everything else. I go there, I learn as much as I can because the fact that I'm visually impaired does not mean my mind is also impaired. I can understand concepts, I can do things, I can give ideas, I can imagine stuff, I can create things, you understand? So that one alone inspires me so much. I know that, okay, I cannot depend on anybody, I cannot go and beg, I cannot allow this disability to prevent me from achieving my goals. So what do? I work even harder. So I can say my disability in a way has taught me to work hard and to seize opportunities anytime I see or I hear of an opportunity. I seize it, I grab it with my two hands. Yeah, and I make sure that I get the most out of any opportunity that I receive. Like last week, I've been training digital skills, how to convert books and to make them accessible.
Are you fine?
Yes, we are good. Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Nice.
Thank you.
You understand? So I get such opportunities. I make sure I learn as much as possible, so that when I input on the same ground with someone who's not visually impaired, and we are given computers, the both of us, to do something in the computer, I'll probably do so many things with that computer than that other person. You see? So I'm thinking it as a strength because it is kind of motivating me to work even harder and to take advantage of every single opportunity I have, and also to nurture my talents and skills and to refine them so much that I'm just excellent, like my name. You understand? Yeah, so that's what I can say. It has really inspired me.
Thank you so much. Now, Jeremy, we have limited time. We are going to say the Divine Mercy prayers. We have only 4 minutes to the place and we need to prepare for it. I don't know, you guys know how to pray the Divine Mercy?
But we don't know how to do it.
Okay, it's okay. You just stay silent as the prayer is going on. It takes about 10 minutes. then we'll continue with our program.
Okay. So we just connect to here.
Yes.
Yes, right. Nikiwa napitia nia zako mpenzi msikilizaji, kuna nasema kwamba kupitia divine mercy naomba Mungu ampatie Monica divine protection at her workplace and financial breakthrough. Let's remember the sick and the suffering in Jeremy na ndoa tuko pamoja. Kisa Freda kutoka Royal Tune In pamoja, wimbo yoyote kutoka Kisoko Parish Mbale. Asante sana. Ni Philip kutoka St. Lucia Suzola Kisumu, naomba unichezee maisha yangu. Asante sana. Jacob Mkisia wa Karibandi South Parish, Mary Market Station, naomba wimbo wa Makabisi uitwao ni hapa kwa Yesu, na ujaji wa matumaini pamoja katika sala, naomba wimbo wa ashukuriwe kutoka tunakuja. Na hivyo basi nimesema kwamba tunajitayarisha kwa ajili ya rozari ya huruma ya Mungu, na basi kile ambacho tunafanya ni kuweza kupitia jumbe zako wewe mpenzi msikilizaji. Tunasema katika rozari ya huruma ya Mungu, naombea wagonjwa wote walio hospitalini na nyumbani. Ascended into heaven and is seated on the right hand of
Two questions, then we conclude. We are supposed to finish by 3:30, and this is 3:15. So as we are answering the questions,
Happy New Year to you too. Hi. Yes, hi. Hi.
Alright, mpenzi msikilizaji, asanteni sana kwa kila mmoja ambaye amekuwa na sisi kwenye rozari ya huruma ya Mungu, na sasa hivi tutakuwa tunarejea kwa sababu ya muda umetupa kisogo sana. Tutakuwa tunarejea upande mwingine wa studio ili tuweze kutamatisha kitengo hiki cha The Youth Zone, ambapo tuko na Sister Aurelia pamoja na ndugu zetu upande mwingine huo wa studio. Hivyo basi ningependa niweze kurudisha usukani moja kwa moja ili tuweze kutamatisha. Karibu tena sister.
asante sana, and welcome back from the long break. And right now, we are going to summarize as we are coming to the close of our program. I have a few questions for our guests, and allow me to begin with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, how do you use your experiences to inspire others or change perceptions about disabilities?
For example, now, sister, I'm in my practicum for
Mm.
counseling psychology. So many people seem to see many people coming to the institution
Mm.
with their sight. So me being there is already, I'm already changing their perspective that is the visually impaired or the people with disability can go in their institution for practicum.
Mm.
And the time that I am giving that opportunity, I will prove them wrong and do my level best, so that even if another time, another person will come there to ask for practicum, um, he or she will be given the platform, because I've created them a way, so that even if when they go there, they will see that Jeremy was here and was visually impaired. Uh, Someone is here else and he or she is visually impaired or another disability. So we're going to give them opportunity. You see,
Okay.
I've already
Yeah.
said the
Yeah.
for example, even now I'm going to the supermarket also,
Mhm.
I'll be friendly to all people who are there,
Mhm.
and I'll send, uh, I'll pay via my phone and show them that even we people with disability can do even more, um,
More than
they do
they do or they feel
they
you
feel
cannot do.
exactly.
Yes.
So they go in there at the supermarket and very being friendly to them, and just talking to them. Any question they answered, they ask, I'll answer in a correct way and
Mhm.
in a very composed way.
Okay. Thank you so much. And excellent.
There are a number of ways I do this. For example, I use my abilities. I am a musician. I do sing very, very well. And so when people see me or hear me singing or sing, they kind of say, okay, also these people can also sing very well. I also do play piano and drum set. And right now I'm learning guitar. And I'm very good at them. So I try to achieve what you call perfection or excellence. I like and I love leaving my name. So I want to be excellent in everything that I do. So when people find me doing things, anything literally, not just music but anything, even at work, when I'm given assignments, I do them at my level best. And I even sometimes I challenge those who have sight, because I do a quite good. I perform well, even than some of them, and they're like, okay, ulienda namna gani? They're surprised, you understand, because they think or they expect that maybe something will be difficult to you, but at the end of the day, you manage and you hack your way through, and you do it very well. So that alone changes the perspective, in the people, or about okay, with the people that I interact with, the people in my circle, or in the corner. Okay, so nothing is impossible. Sometimes people even ask questions, maybe when we are traveling or we are the public spaces. People are, I like Kenyans now. They can just ask questions, and when someone or if someone asks me a question, I take that opportunity to explain everything to them, to change that narrative and the mindset they have, and also educate. And when I educate that one person, he or she will later on educate many other people. So it's just being good at your skills, being good at your workplace, at anything that you do, and also be willing to talk, to what we call advocacy. You speak, you talk, you write. So through that you can change the mindset of many people and the perspective they have towards disability.
Wow, thank you so much. And still with you, excellent. What advice would you give to someone struggling to see their disability as a strength?
As long as you're still focusing on your disability as an inability, you'll never make any step in life forward. You'll never advance in life. You need to overlook that disability. Don't see it as an inability, but instead look at the potentials you have. Look at the skills, the talents, the gifts, the abilities that God has given every human being, regardless of your disability, some specific and unique talents, skills, and abilities. You'd rather focus on those than focusing on the disability. Nurture them, refine them, and use them. And I can tell you, be that person who has confidence in themselves, that person who's willing to make a step. As long as you're seated there, don't sit there expecting someone to come and maybe carry you and take you from one point to the other. No, you have to do. Let me paraphrase or direct translate. You have to send yourself. lazima ujitume. Yeah, lazima ujitume. So don't see the down love. We've just done the divine mercy. God has mercy. The moment He sees you trying to do something, and of course, depending on Him, He'll always make a way, and you'll find yourself doing things that you would have never done, seated. That's what I can say. So stand up and do that thing. Do what you can do. Do what you think you cannot do. Just try and do it. You'll be amazed. You'll do it very well.
Okay, good. And this is not just to the disabled or those who are visually impaired, but for every young person out there.
Absolutely.
Stand your ground, do what you know how to do best, and God will pave way for you. Let's
Exactly.
listen from Jeremy.
If you go back to the Bible,
Mm.
when Moses was dressing his father's-in-law's sheep,
Mhm.
God appeared to Moses in form of fire and asked Moses, "What do you have on your hand?" And he said, "I have a rod." So, this rod you are going to use for everything. Anywhere that I send you, I'm going to send you to Egypt. You're going to use, and every time that Moses was there, he was using his rod. And we can see the time that Moses changed his rod changed to a snake and swallowed all the snakes of this place
Pharaoh.
called,
Pharaoh.
yeah, exactly,
The magicians,
yeah, the magician, whatever. And through that rod, he took the Israelites through the river. And at that time, God, what came into my mind, you have everything in your mind, you have everything, and you have in your hand, whatever you have now. Please wake up, go and nini, because God told Moses.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much for that advice. And it is really, really important that we know what we want, we know what we are going through, and take advantage of that to reach out to others. Before we go with that advice, I just want to find out from the both of you, how have you used your disability to reach out to someone else?
Okay.
Mm.
For me, it was the other day. It was just yesterday. I was in my practicum, and the deputy in that institution was not a bit friendly, but the principal was very friendly, and the principal said, and the Maasai girls always disappoints me. That people say it seems that this person is nothing. This person is can't make it, but our person is nothing. This person is can't make it, but I've make it now. So it's a challenge to everyone.
Advantage of that anywhere that my disability places me in terms of the disability circle, for example, where I work right now, and the things I do, the kind of people I meet with, I try my level best to have an impact, a long-lasting impact on those people. For example, now being the Kenya Society for the Blind, we meet with many people that have acquired blindness along the way in life, and they're kind of giving up. So I talk to them, I tell them they see, they hear, and I tell them also the things that I've done. They see my talents, they see my abilities, and many of them change their minds, and they actually now begin to see life a different way. And I remember some time back, also I focused on my music and my skills so much because of my disability that I decided that I have to be something in this life. I have to be meaningful. I have to be great in this life. So I focused on my talent and sharpened it so much, and it placed me somewhere. So I happened to meet this parent who had a child, a girl, who was both blind and I don't know if this term, but she had no legs and no sight. You understand? This parent had never had anything called National Council for Persons with Disabilities. She has never even heard that there are schools for such kids. So I was able to advise her accordingly, and the kid received help. So right now she's in school, and you see the life of that child is even becoming better.
It's
So I use every opportunity that I have, every opportunity, every platform I get to have impact on people and on society at large.
Wow, that is really, really interesting and inspiring. And I call on young people, I call on youth out there, those who are listening to us, those who will listen to us later, because our video is still going to stay on Facebook and it will still stay on YouTube. I call on you to learn from our guests today, Jeremy and Excellence,
Yes.
and make sure you do your best and leave an impact in the society. Some of them have hands, they can hear, they can talk, but they are doing things that are not really right. So I encourage you, I call on you to take up this as a challenge. Thank you so much for listening to us and you know and watching us in this presentation, and God bless. I don't know if we had some questions from our viewers and our listeners.
Most of our people are saying they are following up and they're getting the insights
Okay.
that we are giving.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
so much.
And also because of time, I would like to thank each and everyone who has listened and tuned into 107.3, 107.0. That's all the way from Kericho, Kisumu, Kisii, Bomet, Nandi Hills. Thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in and listened to this particular program. All right, thank you so much to Excellent and Jeremy for gracing our show today, and you've made it a very, very